Welcome, everyone. I am Amy Stanton. I'm the Director of Brand Engagement and Cause at For Moms. So I just want to take a minute to thank you all so much for joining us this evening for the premiere of For Moms Sleepversity. We're super excited. First, I want to just give a little bit of background on Sleepversity. So at For Moms, we are honored to be a part of over 1 million new parents and their babies' earliest months with products like our Mom Rose Sleep Bassinet, the Mom Rose Swing, and many more. But with Sleepversity, we partnered with a group of amazing influencers and created something to dive deeper than ever onto newborn sleep. So helping parents understand their baby's developments, learn more skills, and see other real parents in action to illustrate how diverse sleep is for each and every baby. So I think we all know that no baby sleep journey is the same, but something we often hear from our parents is that they feel guilty or that they're doing something wrong if they're not following this or that sleep method exactly. So that's why we created Sleepversity, to give parents a resource that illustrates the many different approaches to newborn sleep and to help them feel more supported, informed, and empowered. Sleep that they can turn to anytime and when they most need someone to relate to. With that, I am thrilled to introduce our host, Carolynne Harvey, certified pediatric sleep expert and founder of Dream Baby Sleep, and our quarterback for Team Sleepversity. So welcome, Carolynne.
Hey, Amy, thank you so much for having me. I am so excited to be a part of this campaign and share more about the complex but crucial skill of newborn sleep. And I really want to help new parents truly enjoy those early months of their baby's lives. First, I wanted to welcome our first set of parents featured on Sleepversity, the wonderful Bryan and Chris Lambillotte. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. Great to be here.
It's so great to have you guys here. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell us and introduce, who are you holding?
These are our two beautiful twin children. This is little London.
And I have little Brecken here.
Say hi, Bobby. Say hi, guys. Hello.
Amazing. So cute. Have you guys seen the sneak peek of the episode yet?
No,
We
we
have
have
not.
not.
It's so great. It's so great. The behind the scenes with your family is so special. I can't wait for everybody to see it. So stay with us, everyone. Thank you both so much for joining us. I am really excited to get started, but first, a couple housekeeping items. If you have any sleep related questions or questions about Bryan and Chris's surrogacy journey, please type them in the Q&A box in the Zoom control panel. Not the chat, but type them in the Q&A box, okay? We will be answering your questions live towards the end of tonight's event, so stay tuned. Make sure you ask those sleep questions in the Q&A box, okay? So we also wanted to thank the amazing companies who contributed to our Parents' Night In swag bags. So we want to give a huge thank you to Mattress Sense Skincare, Ergo Pouch Swaddle, and Dottle & Co. pacifiers, okay? However, for those of you who did not receive a swag bag, you can still enter to win, okay? So not only can you enter to win the swag bag, you can enter to win the Mamaru Sleep Bassinet. That's right, the Mamaru Sleep Bassinet, okay? So we are going to post in the chat the link for you to click on to enter to win a swag bag and the Mamaru Sleep Bassinet. So make sure you take time and click in the chat and do that. So without further ado, we are pleased to present Season 1, Episode 1 of Sleepversity with Bryan and Chris Lambillotte. It's coming, I promise. It's thundering where I am, so you might not have sound where you are. Do you have sound, Bryan and Chris?
Nope, we'll take two. Hang on one second.
That's okay. It is a blackout thunderstorm where I am, so be patient with us, and we're gonna go with take two. I adore the cute animation.
Your mom's Sleepversity.
Here
I'm
we
your
go.
host, Carolynne Harvey, certified pediatric sleep expert and founder of Dream Baby Sleep. Today, we're sitting down with Bryan and Chris, who welcomed newborn twins, Brecken and London, on March 9th. They're going to be sharing their surrogacy journey, welcoming newborn twins, being working dads, and how they are approaching sleep. Welcome, Bryan and Chris.
Hi, Carolyn. Thanks so much for having us.
Hi.
Now tell me who each of you are holding.
I'm holding little Brecken over here.
And I've got London.
Amazing, congratulations. First, can you guys talk us through how you became parents to your twins?
Sure. It all started, we've been together over 10 years, so it started quite a long time ago, the discussion of wanting to be parents and definitely wanting to make that leap. So when we got serious about it, we explored all the different avenues, foster care, adopt, surrogacy, and just ultimately decided surrogacy was what was right for us and how to build our family.
And all in all, the journey from beginning to end was a long 21 months for us. But in the end, we each are biological dads to each of the babies. So I'm biologically related to Brecken, and Chris is biologically related to London.
Oh, that's so special. Congratulations. It's such an amazing story about your journey to become parents. How are the twins sleeping?
Right now, they're actually sleeping pretty good. We've gotten them, for the most part, sleeping through the night, that golden, 6 to 8 hour mark. They nap regularly through the day as they should. And, they don't always like to be put down for sleep right away, but
They eventually
they do
give
it.
in, and then they're sleepy babies for a few hours, which is nice.
And I really love how simple you guys are doing it. So that's one of my primary tips. Keep it simple. Turn down the lights, set the stage for sleep, start your white noise, which is a healthy sleep cue. Quietly change the diaper, right? Less interaction at bedtime, the better. Gently rock them for a little bit. Do your best to try and place them down, drowsy but awake. But if not, that's okay. They're still little. And really a simple, consistent routine is ultimately what helped you guys really establish a very healthy sleep routine.
It is useful having the 4 moms bassinet, especially if one of us is flying solo, since we both do work full time, to help with that rocking and soothing them if we don't have both of us to each take a baby.
It really is like a second set of hands. Any sleep myths you found totally false or unrealistic?
I mean, our number one sleep myth that we don't follow is never wake a sleeping baby. It's something that we do not follow even before we had kids. I was reading through books and websites and the blogs, and a lot of them were saying, never wake a sleeping baby. And for us, it's like, well, that doesn't work best for us, especially with their feeding schedule and keeping them on the routine that they're comfortable with. So that's like our number one myth that we don't follow.
Especially with twins, they have to be on the same schedule. So if one's feeding, the other one needs to feed too, or more or less on the same. Otherwise, we would never sleep again.
Yeah, well, guess what? I mean, bravo to you guys. Your instincts are spot on. Pro tip, I always tell all of our new parents to cap any one nap, meaning wake a sleeping baby, any one nap at a maximum of 2 hours. Scientifically, this is ultimately what is going to help end day and night confusion. It allows for enough time during the day to get in all your feeds, as well as offer age-appropriate tummy time. So, excellent job, guys.
And they do love their activity time, for
Oh,
sure.
yes. Can't take that away from them for sure.
Well, I will tell you that it seems like you both have it totally figured out. You are crushing sleep. I'm so excited for you. What do you say to those new parents that just feel like they're at a loss?
But we definitely don't have it all together. It may look like we do, but we definitely don't. I think for me, like for any new parent, is that every baby is different, and to take things one day at a time and really listen to your baby's needs, listen to your partner if you have one, and do what's best for you and your family.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Now, I will tell you, you have such a unique and special story to parenthood. Is there anything additional you want to share with everyone about your story?
With our story, like we mentioned, we chose surrogacy as our option, but there were a lot of hurdles along the way. We had 2 egg donors, 3 surrogate matches. We had legal delays, we had clinic delays, we had COVID delays, but we knew this is what we wanted. So we persevered, and the end result was worth it. So if anyone going through any sort of, family planning, infertility treatment, surrogacy, any family journey or journey to parenthood, there will be bumps along the way, but it will be worth it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's so fantastic. I just get teary-eyed just even looking at the both of you in lockstep. Thank you so much, Bryan and Chris, for sharing your amazing story. You are doing such a great job. I want to remind everybody that they can continue to follow Bryan and Chris's journey on TikTok at It's Bryan and Chris. And don't forget to follow at 4moms_HQ on Instagram for more Sleepversity updates and episode announcements. Sleep well.
Yay! So amazing, so amazing. First and foremost, happy birthday to Bryan. I think it was yesterday.
It was. Thank you.
Yes, happy Pride and congratulations. I mean, seeing all those behind the scenes of the both of you and the twins is so special. What did you think?
It came out so great. I love it.
Yeah, it was fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so fun to watch, right? Cute memories. All right, Amy, back to you.
Okie doke. Now is time for some trivia and some prizes, which I know everyone loves. So we have 4 questions. 4 is kind of our lucky number here at 4Moms. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask 1 question in the poll. And for everyone that gets it correct, we are going to randomly select a winner, and you will receive a $50 credit to 4moms.com. So we will email you after that. So I think we're just going to get started. So the first trivia question: at what age do babies start producing the sleep hormone melatonin? At birth, 4 to 8 weeks, 3 to 4 months, or 7 to 8 months?
This is a tough one.
We're going to give it a few more minutes.
Oh,
Second.
Look at that.
Let's
Okay.
see, where are we at?
Wait.
All right, did everyone get their answer in? I'm gonna 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna end the poll. Carolynne, you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. Do you want me to answer this question? The body produces that beautiful natural sleep hormone melatonin in babies between 3 and 4 months old. Okay, so that's when we start to see our baby's sleep slowly starting to create somewhat of a pattern. So hang in there if you've got a little peanut.
All right, so we got 15 correct answers.
Amazing.
All right, next question. Now these are, if you follow Bryan and Chris, you have a little advantage to this one. So how did Bryan and Chris choose Brecken and London's first names? They were named after their grandparents. They are 2 favorite vacation destinations in the UK. They were chosen for their meetings, Bright Light and From the Great River. Or were they named after a winery in California and the show The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody? All right, we'll give you guys 10 more seconds to get in your results.
This was my favorite trivia question.
All right, I'm gonna give 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna end the poll, and then Bryan and Chris, you wanna tell us which is the correct answer?
So the correct answer is that we named Brecken after a winery in California, in Paso Robles, called Brecken. And London's name was inspired from the Disney Channel show, The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. There was a character on that show named London Tipton, played by Brenda Song. So
Amazing. I love that.
I love it.
All right, we got 12 correct answers there. So we'll randomly select a winner and email you after this. All right, moving to trivia question number 3. Which of the following is not a 4Moms product? The Breeze Play Yard, the Mamaroo Sleep Bassinet, the Newborn Sleep Class powered by Dream Baby Sleep, the Clean Water Tub, Explorer Playmat, or the Connect High Chair?
A lot of people quick on this one.
Very quick.
Very quick. I'm thoroughly impressed.
Yep. All right. 62%.
Long
70.
answers.
Guys, I need to do more marketing.
No, I think this is great. This is a great result. We'll send this right on over to the marketing team.
All right, I'm going to give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm going to end that poll. We do not currently have a playmat. So Explore the Playmat is the correct answer. Half of you got that correct. For those of you who don't know, yes, we have a Breeze Play Yard and the Connect High Chair. Check it out on 4moms.com.
Look at the babies clapping.
All right, the last question. All right, so if you were paying attention to Carolynne's pro tips, what is the longest amount of time any one nap should be for a newborn between 0 and 16 weeks, after which you should gently wake them? 1 hour, 90 minutes, 2 hours, or let them sleep as long as they need to. We never wake a sleeping baby.
A lot of people jumping in on this one quick.
yeah.
Yep.
Quick. Inspired by Bryan and Chris, I feel. So this tip could be jointly co-created by Bryan and Chris and Dream Baby Sleep. So,
All right, I'm gonna 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, end that poll. And guys,
2 hours.
2 hours.
Hours.
Wake that sleeping baby, friends. Wake up those babies.
They followed
Yep.
that rule today.
all right, great. Thank you guys all so much for playing. We will pick 4 winners and we will email you with your codes. So congratulations and good luck to everyone that answered correctly. All right, I think it's time for some questions, right, Carolynne?
Let's do it. I saw a bunch of questions pop up in the chat. We are going to be answering your questions from the Q&A tab. So make sure you head on over to the Q&A tab and ask your questions there. Okay, so let's start off. Let's see. Brittany B says, I'm co-sleeping with my son and I'm trying to get him to sleep in the crib and he won't sleep in it. Help me, I'm a new mom. You are not alone. This is super common. So per the AAP, we want to make sure that we are room sharing, not bed sharing. So your instincts are spot on to transition that baby on over to the crib. And what I like to say is pull a Nike and just do it. Okay, anything new in our lives takes time, right? You can actually, and maybe we can post it in the link here, we have an epic, 4Moms has an epic crib transition guide that would be applicable here. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if we can pull that link and we will share it in the chat. But what you want to do is familiarize baby with the crib during nap time. So I always suggest anytime there's a transition, start with nap 1 because nap 1 is the easiest nap to catch because nap 1 is actually a continuation of night sleep. So start small, okay? You're doing a great job. Make sure you check out that link that we're going to share on the transition to the crib guide. It's perfect for this. Okay, let's see, who do we have next? Kristen Tolbert, at what age should babies be sleeping through the night without waking for a bottle and for how long? Those are 2 different questions. I am going to defer to Bryan and Chris on this because I would love to hear your thoughts and perspective. You guys have recently experienced sleeping through the night. What does that mean for your family?
Means we get sleep too. No.
For us,
You're
it
giving
means
sleep tips. You guys are crushing sleep. Yeah. So we had talked about earlier that sleeping through the night for you guys was 6 to 8 hours.
yeah, it's not
Yeah.
it's not the 12 hour. That's not realistic, but it's about up to 8 hours
Yeah.
a night.
Yeah, on average, they after their last feeding and we burp them and we've settled them down, they're usually in bed between like 10:30 and 11, and they are up between that like 6 and 7 a.m. time frame, which is a dream. It really is.
Yeah, that is a dream. You guys are doing such a great job. So I want Kristen T to go ahead and separate that question. Feeding and sleeping through the night. Sleeping through the night equals 6 to 8 hours. Feeding is a totally different animal. So per the Academy of Pediatrics, many babies have 1 to 2 night feeds once they're over 4 months old. So 0 to 4 months, all bets are off. You're going to want to make sure you consult with your pediatrician on age appropriate feeding based on your baby's weight and growth curve. Once your baby is over 4 months, assuming healthy weight and no medical diagnoses, you should be working towards 2 or 1 feed. Personally, I had a tiny baby, 4 pounds 9 ounces, and I fed her 2 to 3 times a night until she was 12 months old. So normal is a big scale. So definitely check with your pediatrician. Okay, I love that. That's a great question. So Masa N has a question for us. 13 months old, so definitely not a newborn anymore, having a hard time sleep training. For naps, she's going down easily. She's able to put herself back to sleep. She's unable to go down quickly. This is so common. We hear this quite often. It takes her a while, 30 to 40 minutes to fall asleep, and then she's waking up 30 to 40 minutes later. That's what we call a false start. Bryan and Chris, did you guys ever experience that where the babies would go to sleep and then pop wide awake 30 to 45 minutes later?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
London does that from time to time. So
Yep. Yeah, super, super common. And that is often at this age, at 13 months old, that's often triggered by bedtime being too late. We want to make sure that we're leveraging an age appropriate bedtime based on your baby's age. And often when our little ones get overtired, that's when we see that false start happen. So whatever your bedtime is right now, I would encourage you to offer bedtime 15 to 20 minutes earlier than what you're doing right now. And that will help you get in front of that really overtired state, okay? So great job there. That will also help minimize multiple night waking and early rising. Pro tip for everybody. If you take one thing away from this, bedtime, age appropriate bedtime, age appropriate bedtime, early bedtime, early bedtime. Say it with me, early bedtime.
Early bedtime.
It's the number one tool in your toolbox. It's the if you don't have to sleep train, right? Because that's not what Sleepversity is about. You can if it is aligned with your family dynamic, but you don't have to. You can improve sleep without sleep training simply by focusing on a bedtime routine, age appropriate bedtime, and a consistent nap routine. So hang in there. Okay, let's see. Did I answer Kristen? How and what do you use to swaddle your baby throughout the night? Okay, that's a question for Bryan and Chris. Are you guys swaddling right now?
We are. We use a couple different options. One is the Love to Dream. We call it the starfish.
Their arms go up.
Their arms go up, and it's
Yep.
just a simple zipper, so that way they're still able to move if needed. But the babes really, really love. I think it's called the Love Me swaddles. It's with the Velcro. Their arms are down by their sides, and it's nice and tight. You guys saw how tightly I had
That is a bug.
before, and they really love it. I guess it's supposed to replicate what it feels like for them to be in the womb. It's nice and tight for them. But as they get older, because they are approaching 4 months, we are going to have to slowly wean them off of that because they're getting stronger with wanting to roll over and all those types of things.
Yeah, that's great. That leads us to our next question. At what age do you suggest stop swaddling? So you're spot on. Once baby is starting to roll, that is your cue per the American Academy of Pediatrics that it is time to stop swaddling and transition to a traditional sleep sack. So Great question. Okay, next up is Aileen C. My 3-month-old naturally wakes up about a half an hour after every nap. Is this normal? You bet, Mama. This is absolutely normal. So what is considered a normal nap? A normal nap for newborns 0 to 15 weeks old is 20 minutes. That's considered normal. 20 minutes up to 2 hours. Also considered normal. So we have this huge range. So often we can feel stress or overwhelm or anxiety, which I know I personally experienced as a new parent, that, oh gosh, my baby's short napping, I'm doing something wrong. You're not. It's totally normal. Babies don't develop a consistent sleep schedule, and they don't have the ability to stretch to, let's say, a 60-minute plus nap until about the 4-month mark. So hang in there, you're doing great. Okay, let's see. Who is next? Kelly F. Kelly F. We have a solid nighttime routine, but our 6-month-old still wakes up 2 to 3 times a night. Any tips for getting him to sleep longer? So sleep is a 24-hour cycle. Keep that in mind. So as we are over, keep in mind also 0 to 4 months, a little different. Newborns, all bets are off. We rock, bounce, shush, hold, feed to sleep, right? We're seeing naps 20 minutes to 2 hours. Once our babies are over 4 months old and that beautiful sleep hormone that we talked about, melatonin, is being produced in the baby's body, that's when we can start to see a little bit more consistency. So with that said, in order to have more consistency and longer stretches for a 6-month-old, the first thing that we look at Dream Baby Sleep is, what time is bedtime? What time is your bedtime? If it's too late, it's going to trigger multiple night waking. So everybody bugs out when I say this. Bryan and Chris, what time are the twins' bedtime right now? Brecken and London, what is their bedtime?
It's currently between 10 and 11.
Beautiful.
On average, yeah.
Yep, beautiful. So based on their age, that is spot on. So between 9 and 11 for newborns, between the ages of 0 and 16 weeks old. It's a huge range because truly all babies are different. Once they're over 4 months old, everybody starts to panic because that's where we feel like they should be sleeping longer stretches at night. But it feels super counterintuitive. In order to help us get there, we have to make bedtime earlier. Say it with me. Early bedtime. It's the number one tool in your toolbox. I used to legit leave the park at 3:30. People would be like, "Oh, where are you going? Where are you going?" I'm like, "Girl, I'm going home. I got to get this baby to bed," because I was geared up for a 5:36 p.m. bedtime. Yes, bedtime can be that early. We have an amazing blog on the 4moms.com blog, so definitely check that out about age-appropriate bedtime. So as your babies get older, that's going to be super, super important. Have you guys ever heard the expression, Chris, have you heard the expression like, "Oh, gee, look at my kid," or "Look at her, she's slap happy," right? Or "She's got her second wind." Have you heard that expression before? Yeah. So babies experience that when they miss an ideal age-appropriate bedtime. That's when the sleep hormone melatonin converts to a stimulant, which is really like our flight or fight reflex, which is cortisol. And that's where the second wind or that slap happy appearance kicks in. That's why age-appropriate and early bedtime is so crucial. Okay, so great question. All right, let's see. We have more time for questions, Amy. I'm just checking on our time here.
Yep, you're all good.
Yeah, okay, awesome. So we have Nanny R with twins. How do you suggest keeping them on the same sleep schedule? Bryan and Chris, what do you suggest?
If one wakes up and it's time to eat, the other one's got to wake up too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep, you have to. You have to, like what I call, split the difference. And I jokingly say whoever the naughty sleeper is, right? Whoever is not sleeping the best that day, the other twin needs to be woken up to align with that time. But when I say split the difference, so although we're waking up the other twin, we can then offer the next nap 15 to 20 minutes earlier. so that the baby who woke up first can kind of catch up just a smidge. So you definitely want to get twins on the same schedule, as you guys both well know. Our twin clients are like locked and loaded because there's very little room for error, right? It's like you need a routine. Otherwise, it just kind of feels like it's falling apart. I saw someone get up. Okay, yeah. Oh my God, I can eat them.
A little bit of a fussy baby, so we're just
That's
gonna.
okay. We love fussy.
Fire.
Yeah, we love fussy babies. No worries at all. Okay, so next up, anonymous attendee. When sleep training is best to tackle naps first, to do both nap and nights at the same time. I'm a huge fan of go big or go home. Okay, so rip the Band-Aid off, jump in. I prefer, and my team always recommends, to do both first and foremost. So, great question. You don't have to though. If that doesn't align with your parenting style and your values, start with naps and start with nap 1. Okay. Okay. Next up, at what age do you recommend sleep training? So we never, ever sleep train prior to 16 weeks from your estimated due date, not your delivery date. Pro tip: my favorite age to sleep train is 5 months old. Don't tell anybody I told you that. I wish I had a research grant to study it, honestly, because I don't know why, but it comes together like so fast. So, next question. Would Bryan and Chris mind sharing what settings they use on their bassinet?
Absolutely. So luckily, Brecken's like, don't tell our secret.
Don't give it up. Don't give it up.
So luckily they both enjoy the same, for the most part, the same setting. So for their movement setting, they both love the car ride.
Car ride setting 3.
Setting 3 for
Speed
Brecken,
3, I should
or
say.
speed 3, and then speed 2 for London. And then they both love the white noise on level 3.
The first noise.
The first noise that comes on. Yeah.
The first noise. Amazing.
Every time. I have tried the kangaroo, and that's fine. And they do like I think it's called the tree swing, but they love the car ride. That is their favorite setting to be able to at least calm them down and soothe them, and sometimes when they take naps during the day.
Yeah, that's so awesome. So the great news is there's 100 combinations to choose from. So what they like one week, they might not like the next, and you've got lots and lots to choose from. So great question. I love that. Okay, so Christina B, why is sleeping in an inclined position so bad? So the AAP is regulating safe sleep, and we do not want babies sleeping in an incline. Baby swings are safe. However, once your baby falls asleep in their swing, you want to gently transition them to their safe sleeping space, which is their bassinet, play yard, or crib. So that's why we want to do that. Okay, next up is Ashley. I know the recommendation is 6 months for the same room sharing, but would 3 months be okay? All right, so this is Ashley K. This is a very individual preference. So once again, the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that you room share, meaning keep your baby in the same room as you in their designated safe sleeping space, which would be the Mamaroo sleep bassinet, a play yard, or a crib in your room share, not bed share. They recommend you do that for a minimum of 6 months, and they're suggesting it up to 12 months. If you have questions on making a transition to your baby's nursery earlier than that, just touch base with your pediatrician and make an informed decision that works best for your family. Okay, next up, Melissa J. My baby was born 6 weeks early, so we're going to adjust. That's super important. Anytime we're talking about sleep tips, we want to go off of baby's adjusted age. Bryan and Chris, the twins were born on or close to time. I know they were full term. Were they a week and a half? 37 weeks?
37 weeks.
37 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So although full term, we still do adjust our baby's age based on their estimated due date, whether it's 2 weeks or 6 weeks. So for Melissa J, we are going to adjust your baby's age to your estimated due date, not your delivery date, as it relates to sleep. Okay. Follow due date June 15th for any. Yeah. So developmental milestones are based on your due date. That's correct. Always follow your pediatrician's guideline. Can you explain how this pertains to sleep? So yeah, sleep maturity is a little bit different than physicality. So don't be confused. When in doubt, err on the side of earlier. There's a range, you guys. I had a 4-pound, 9-ounce baby. She wasn't even on the curve. We were not even on the percentile chart. I felt like I was going backwards. I felt like we were missing milestones. We weren't growing on the curve that I thought she should be on. Just know that wherever you are is right where you should be. As long as you're working with your pediatrician or your medical advisor, know that you're just fine. Okay, so try not to be overwhelmed by all of that. I'm dyslexic, so the dates totally throw me off. Due date, delivery date, estimated date, I don't know. I don't even remember. Okay, Aileen C. My 3-month-old is thankfully sleeping most nights, at least 8 hours. That's huge. 6 to 8 hours is considered normally sleeping through the night. She goes to sleep around 8, though, still waking up early. I've heard of babies sleeping 12 hours. I call poppycock on that. I don't know if that's a word. I don't know if you could say that on a premiere preview for Sleepversity. But listen, guys, 12 hours is not realistic in my humble view. You may be experiencing that, and I say amazing and bravo, but the majority is 6 to 8 hours if you're lucky at that age. Bryan, I'll ask you, when the babies were, 0 to 2, well, let's just say 2 months, right? So out of that super tiny newborn stage, you guys were waking up quite a bit at night, feeding 2-3 times a night, right? 3 to 4 stretches were your reality.
Feeding was every 2.5 hours from when we started feeding them. So if you imagine we wake up at midnight, for example, and we feed them right at midnight, it takes about a good 30-45 minutes for us to feed them, burp them, get them reswaddled, change their diaper if needed carefully, and then putting them back down. So essentially, we're back to sleep, or they're back to sleep at 1. That literally leaves us an hour and a half roughly until we have to wake them up again for their next feeding.
Yeah. I feel like there's some stress and overwhelm with feeling like your baby should be sleeping through the night. I was feeding my daughter every 3 to 4 hours at night until she was 9 months old based on her weight. So just know that babies do not sleep through the night at that 3 months old. If you're fortunate enough to get a 6-hour stretch, that's huge. If you're still on every 3 to 4 hours or even 2 to 3 hours, that's okay too. 4Moms has an amazing newborn sleep class powered by, I won't name names, but it might be me. So we'll post that in the chat. You could definitely check out the 4Moms newborn sleep class. It's an amazing resource which helps answer a lot of these questions for babies age 0 to 16 weeks old. So definitely check that out in the chat. Okay, next up. Who am I at? Maureen B. Our son was born prematurely and he's currently only 5 pounds. A peanut. I had a 4-pound 9-ouncer. We use the 4Moms bassinet. He's very small. Is there any safe way or product to use in the bassinet to keep him more comfortable and secure? Absolutely not. He is the most safe in the 4Moms bassinet with absolutely nothing in the bassinet other than the baby and a swaddle, assuming that baby is not rolling, which I'm guessing that baby is not rolling yet. Okay, so bravo and well done. Know that you're doing everything right. I love the mesh sides on the Mamaroo Sleep bassinet. I don't know, Chris, do you feel like you are a nervous parent? I'm a super nervous parent. I'm constantly questioning things. I feel like you're not, which is why I'm asking you.
Not too much, but it was nice being able to see in the bassinet without getting up out of bed. I could see through the sides from our bed, which was nice.
Yeah. I love that too. The visibility was clutch for me. We've all done it. We've all leaned our hand inside the bassinet, pack and play or crib, and done is the baby breathing thing, right? Everybody experiences that at some point, but per the American Academy of Pediatrics, Maureen B., we definitely 1000% want nothing in that bassinet other than our baby on their backs to sleep. Great question.
Carolynne? Sorry to interrupt you. I just posted sleep tips. Actually, bringing home a NICU baby. You did a blog post for us. Which
Oh,
there's
yes.
sleep tips
Yes,
in
I
there,
love that. Okay, thank you so much for highlighting that. You guys, we're posting these in the chat, so make sure you check that out. If you miss it in the chat and you're looking for a resource, DM at 4moms_HQ. We have epic resources on the 4moms blog, so definitely check that out. Okay, next up, I'm still nursing my 13-month-old, and she can't get to sleep without nursing. How do I wean? Well, you can head on over to @DreamBabySleep, click on the post today, and DM me wean, because I just posted about it. You're welcome. So bottle or breast, we have an 8-step night weaning guide. I'm pretty sure, Amy, we have a resource on this as well that we can post in the chat. So 4moms, again, bottle or breast has that resource. Listen, I call myself an accidental nurser. So I wasn't on a quest to nurse to a certain amount of time. I was like, I'll do it for 3 months. It wasn't my thing. A lot of circumstances unfolded. I ended up nursing my daughter until she was, I forget, it's somewhere between 14 and 16 months old. Definitely older than Emily Kay's baby right now. And I thought weaning was going to be like this giant nightmare. It was not. I was worried about it. The baby was like cared zero. So don't panic. Grab that resource and check it out. Everybody's nursing journey is unique to them. There is no right time to wean. When you're ready, grab the 8-step night weaning guide. Great question. Okay. So,
all right. We have time for 2 more questions. So I don't know if we want to look through and touch on anything.
Oh my God.
About.
It's so much pressure. There's so many more questions. I'm panicked. Okay. So, Carla A, transitioning from the parents' arms to the crib. Bryan and Chris, did you guys contact nap, meaning holding the babies when they first came home, when they were super little? Or do you still now?
We still do. We did a lot of skin to skin in the beginning. We wanted that one-on-one bonding time until they fell asleep, and then slowly move them and carefully move them to their bassinet after they fell asleep.
Yeah, I love contact napping. It's such an amazing way to bond with your baby. As a newborn, Carla A, when contact napping, as I like to call it, is no longer serving you and you're ready to move away from that, start with nap 1 because it's the easiest nap to catch based on the sleep pressure from awake for the day, okay? We have a lot of tips on that on our blog also. All right, we have one more question. The pressure is overwhelming. Who do we choose? Bryan and Chris? I do not know. Okay, so next question is going to be from Gwen L. I'm a first-time mom due in October. What are your top tips for prepping for room sharing? This is a huge question, Gwen. This is a huge question. So I know I'm going to defer to Bryan and Chris. I know that you guys leverage the Mama Rose Sleep Bassinet. You have 2 of them. When you first came home from the hospital with the babies, was there anything special that you did to prepare, or were you just like, here we go?
We tried to prepare as much as possible. So the bassinets were set up already. We were fortunate our room had enough space in it. We just had to remove an armchair, a couple extra pieces of furniture. So those were set up, weeks, if not a month or 2 in advance. So anytime the twins were there, we were ready. Learn, play with the buttons, learn how to use it beforehand.
Yes.
Yeah. Do a practice run, right? I feel like I was so confused about the world when I had a newborn at first. So a practice run is definitely a pro tip. But the great news is, as a new parent, your newborn, your job as a new parent, it's really just to bond with your baby. So like we talked about earlier, contact napping, assuming that you're not falling asleep, is an amazing way to do that. Baby can practice some tummy time on your chest which is really, really an amazing bonding experience as well as beneficial for the baby. So just know that right where you are is right where you should be.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Carolyn. And thank you everyone for your questions. If we did not get to your questions, so sorry. We will try to answer as many as we can. And I will just plug our second Sleepversity episode will air on July 13th. So mark your calendars. You'll have another chance to win prizes, answer trivia. You'll get to meet our influencers. So July 13th, mark it on your calendar. Yeah, shout out to Brecken and London for being so good. Look at them. I mean, it's pretty amazing. So I just want to thank Carolyn for all of your amazing advice and, you know, for helping us through it. And then Bryan and Chris, thank you so much for being here. I don't know if there's anything else you want to share before we wrap up about Sleepversity, your story, your experience, anything you want to leave our participants with?
You know, I would just say, like, every baby is different. Every baby's routine is different. Sleep patterns are different. And just, you know, really learn to take it all in one day at a time and know that you're doing, you know, the best that you can do, and don't stress yourself out too much. You know, give yourself some grace, and it'll all come when it's supposed to come.
Yes, I think that's great advice. So great. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you all taking the time out of your night to be with us. Please remember to follow at 4moms_HQ on Instagram for future episode premieres, July 13th. And if you tuned in late, you can catch the replay of this episode on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/4moms. And we'll see you next time. And as Carolyn loves to say, sleep well.
Sleep well. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thanks so much.
Bye, buddy.